All right, welcome everyone to today's session. My name is Ukeme David Seme, and I'll be taking today's session. I don't have my colleagues here with me in the studio, so I'm gonna have to do everything all by myself. It's gonna be really taxing trying to moderate, checking the chat, and also doing a hands-on session. It won't be that easy, but I know we can get this done. So today we'll be working with a certain repo. Yes, so if you have a GitHub account and you want to follow through, I'm going to put the repo in the chat. Yes, so that's it. Go there, clone that repo, and let's get things done. Just trying to check something. Okay. Okay, so this is the repo. Go to my GitHub, Ukeme, Ukeme Skywalker / Jenkins dash Maven Tomcat DevSecOps.git, clone that repo, and we will get to it. I'm going to share my screen. It's going to be practical throughout. So what we plan to do is CI/CD with Jenkins, but then we'll be having two servers. We'll have one server, a Jenkins server, and then we'll have a production server, which is going to be a Tomcat server because we're working with a Java application, right? So Java applications would literally be hosted on a Tomcat server. We have a lot to cover today. Trust me, very interesting. I hope you'll be able to follow through. Hopefully, I'll be able to finish everything in 1 hour. Most likely, this takes close to like a day to do, but then I'll try as much as possible to see how we can do that in 1 hour. So the Jenkins server is for the CI part of things, and then there's also CD inside of Jenkins too, which is going to be from our pipeline, but then we're pushing to a a Tomcat server. So we have to set up both servers, right? I'm going to share my screen and we will clone that repo and let's get on with it. So let's share my screen. All right. So yeah, so I'm going to use Gitpod as my I'm going to use Gitpod as my IDE. So this is the repo here, in case you don't have it, Jenkins Maven Tomcat DevSecOps, and we will basically be working with this. And we have this Jenkins file here, in which we would also have to this is our pipeline. We don't have to write the pipeline from the beginning to the end. We already have something there. We wrote this some while back, and we just have to modify it to see how things would go. All right. Okay, so this is it. Clone that repo. I think I did that already. And so we can't wait for this to load. Let me edit some things here. Somewhere here. Fantastic and we can now get to it. Yes, so this is it. This is it. Um great. Great. So let's start. Where do we start from at the moment? Let's go to our AWS account, you know, our AWS console. This is how it looks, and we have to go to. I expect that everyone here is advanced, so so we're just trying to do this to create a portfolio. That's the point of this. You're creating a portfolio for yourself. It's not, you know. So this is the project thing. Yes. So go to EC2. We want to create two servers at the moment. One Jenkins and one for Tomcat. So launch instance. This is quite straightforward. I'm gonna put two here, two instances of the same type. And then here we would have Ubuntu. And then we want to work with Ubuntu 20. L yes, LTS, and then instance type. We can't use a free tier. T2 Nano can't really work for this project, so we will be working with a paid version. So it's a T2 medium, to virtual CPU, and then 4 gig of RAM. So that should work. And then you can decide to create your own key pair. But I already have a key pair somewhere. Yes, so I have this here, DevOps Bank. No, I have this here, Nethermind node.pem. So I'm going to use that as my key pair. If you don't have a key pair, then you'd have to create one. Because of time, this is it. Yes. So in terms of my security group, I already have a security group set up, or you can create something new. But basically, what my security group allows, I believe you know about security groups. If you are here, you're advanced. So security groups allow. I have this set up already. That's a bank app is SG security group. I will check this later, but what it allows is it allows HTTP traffic, HTTPS traffic, and also allows SSH traffic, which is on port 22, right? So we have that set up. We just need to launch. I'm going to show you the security groups. Just hold on. Let's just set up this. We have a long way to go. Long way to go. So, yep, my instances are pending. Mhm. So this is them. I'm just going to rename this to Jenkins. Save that, and then I'll rename this to Tomcat. Yep. So I wanted to show you the security group. So we go security. We check. Yes. So basically, I'm allowing, this is not right, but for this project I'm allowing it from everywhere. 0.0.0.0/0 actually means everywhere. Then this, yeah, is actually for IPv6, you know and that was supposed to allow a database, but I just have this set up somewhere. But what you really need is here, port 8080, the first line port 8080, the third line port 22, and then that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Yes, so it's port 8080 because Jenkins runs on port 8080, Tomcat runs on port 8080 also. Yep. So let's go back to the instances. I'm sure they are working now. What we now need to do, let's start with the Tomcat. Oh, Tomcat is still pending. Hmm. I wanted to start with setting up Tomcat, but let's go on and set up Jenkins. So I'm trying to connect. Yes, so I'll just pick this here. This already has like the endpoint for that instance. I want to start with Tomcat. I have a reason why. I want to start with Tomcat. Let's go back. My Tomcat is still pending. This is weird. Okay, I think that's running now. Yes. So let's go there and SSH into you. Yes, so I'm using Tabby as my SSH client, or just my shell terminal client or whatnot. And then in my download folder, I have that key pair there. It's nethermind node.pem. This is the file here. So it means here, this is it. So it means, yeah, so this is just saying SSH using this key pair, Ubuntu user, and then the endpoint. So I'm just going to copy that, and then we'll go straight into that server. That's a Tomcat server, I believe. Yep, that's a Tomcat server. So let's go there and set Tomcat up. Yes. Um, all right. So now the next thing we need to do is to have our have a let me just see if I have any comments, questions in the chat. Okay, there's nothing there. Okay, so next thing to do is to sudo su to become root. So now you see I'm now using root privileges in the Ubuntu folder. What I'm gonna do is okay. So yes, so what I'm gonna do now is I've done that. Let's now install. We have to install Java. in this server, right? Because Tomcat works with Java, so we have to install Java JDK inside. And then the funny thing is when you install Maven, Maven actually comes with Java. So I don't need to install Maven and then install Java separately. I'm just going to do that in one go by installing Maven. I wrote that command somewhere, and this is it. So you can check online how to install Maven and Java. So I'm just going to do this, so I'll just copy it. So sudo apt update, because it's a new server, we have to update, and then sudo apt install Maven dash y. That's what you need to get Java and Maven installed in one system. So that is going on. Usually, what I would have done is I should start installing Jenkins on this other site, but I don't want to confuse anyone. So let's just go step by step. Uh-huh. Let's go step by step. All right, so let's get the versions down to be sure they work. If we say, come here, I'm going to clear this and say mvn sv. We see Maven 3.6.3 is installed, and this is the file where it is housed. Yes, so if we do Java and then dash v, we get the version. Oops, so it's Java dash version. Oops, version. Yeah, so we have OpenJDK for Java installed. Good. So that's the first thing we've done. The next thing now is we need to set up Tomcat. So I'm going to create, let me see, there's no folder there. I'm going to create a folder called prod. Remember, Tomcat is the prod server, right? It's the prod server. We're doing the CI/CD thing on Jenkins. So this is the prod server. And then I'm creating that. The ls is there. I'll cd into that. And then we are in there. What I'm going to do now is to look for, go, yes. So go to the Tomcat website, and then you see all of this here. We can now get the zip file, right? There are different ways to install this, but we get the zip file, and then we can now wget inside and then get that. So it's just going to download it. Okay, I think that's done. So if we ls, we should see, yes, great. Ls again, we should see we have that in a zip. Okay, so let's check if unzip installed is installed. I doubt so. If we say unzip, the zip file, we need to unzip it. So there's no unzip there, so I have to install it. Apt install unzip. Yeah, so I have unzip installed now. I can now unzip this fold, this zip file. I'll just say unzip, and then called Apache Tomcat. Yes, so we're gonna unzip that. Put that here. So we have, I think that's done. Come here, CD. We have that there. We CD into that file, Apache Tomcat 9.0.82. Go in there, ls, and then you have a set of. I'm gonna do ls-lpr so we can see it in this format. Yes. So we have a couple of files and folders here. What's of interest is the web app. So everything Tomcat, the web application is going to be, the file would have to be in the web apps file. And then we have the conf, we'll have to make some configuration changes here. And then we have the bin that actually houses the batch script or the batch file that actually starts and stops your Tomcat server. So what we'll do now is to go into the bin folder. So cd bin ls, yes. So you see we have this startup dot bash dot dot sh, and then we have shutdown dot sh. I'm gonna do something. We'll get an error, but let me just show you. Right, so we'll get the error and then we'll know how to fix that error. Okay, so I'm gonna start that now. I'm gonna say sudo, I want to start Tomcat, sudo bash, start, we'll get an error and I'll tell you why. Startup.sh, which is the file to start. So it's saying that cannot find Catalina.sh. You get this file is actually or does not have the execute permission, and this is the file is actually referring to Catalina.sh. If we ls-ltr to check Catalina.sh here. So it doesn't have any execute permissions here, and we have to give Catalina.sh that execute permissions. So what I'm going to do, I would say chmod plus x Catalina sh. Yep, it has that now. If we do this, we should see that Catalina has execute permissions now. Okay, so we can now go back and run the batch startup.sh script. Yes, so we have Tomcat started. So if we go back to our Tomcat server, get the public IP. Yep, get the public IP. Then it runs on. Okay, I just saw someone. Okay, 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 Sonia. Samuel just said hello, everyone. Sorry, okay, Sonia. I'm the only person in the studio right now, so I can't really, moderate in the chat. I'm just trying to do the hands-on and then, try and coordinate everything at the same time, which is not so easy. So I see you. Okay, Sonia. Odun your Samuel. All right, so 8080, it runs on port 8080. Oh, that's Samuel. Oh, I know that guy. Oh. Yes. Oh, God's time. God's time is meant to be in the studio, but it's not there. It's in the chat. Oh, voila. So anyway, so we have Tomcat installed here, but then if we try to get to the manager, we'll get an error because you don't have some certain permission too, right? So it's saying that you are not authorized to view this page. So basically, this page manager is supposed to be accessible from a browser from inside the Tomcat machine. So we're trying to access the Tomcat manager from outside the machine. So we don't have that access. Okay, so we need to have the manager GUI access, and then we also need to have a script access or something you get. So what we have to do is to go back here, cd, go back, ls, yes, we would go to, is it the conf? Let's go to the conf first. I think there's a config there. I'm looking for a specific file. Okay, not here. Let's go to the web apps folder, cd web apps. Yes, manager. Yes, so every application for Tomcat is actually stored in the web apps folder. So our own literal application, once we build the Maven artifact, we'll have to do a secure copy into somewhere inside this folder, right? And that's where things would begin to play out. Okay, so we'll go into cd into the manager. Yes, and then ls, yep, go into the meta.inf file. We should have a context. We should have a context.xml file there. Yeah, so context.xml, we can now nano that with the text editor, open it in the text editor, and then what we plan to do is to, so here now, this is where the restrictions come in. I think is how to allow some specific IP address and all of that to have access to the manager. But then that's just a lot. We don't want to do that. It's professional to do all of that. You can go and do your research on how to do that, but we're not doing that today. We just need to comment out this valve line here. Same way you comment. Oops, made a mistake. Go back there. Yep. So if we yeah, so we just need to comment this. So comment that same way you comment HTML files. I'm going to do that. So we have this file commented. As you can see here, it's now yellow. I'm going to save this. Yes, save that. Okay, let me just cut it to be sure. Is yes. So we've done that here. All right. So Next thing now is we need to do. Um, it's like I'm too fast. It's like I'm too fast. But anyways, you can always come back to rewatch the video. I mean, we learn every day. So I'll just go back. Go back. I have to go to the conf file right now. So sorry, the conf folder. So here I go to conf. Yep. And then what I'm trying to do is to edit this XML, Tomcat XML, Tomcat users the XML, and we want to add this there. Want to add this there, and then we want to also add a manager script. Okay, then we'll be able to access the manager. All right. So and then nano, where's nano? The Tomcat the XML file. Yep. And now we are gonna add users in it. So just on top of the Tomcat dash users tag here, I'm just gonna copy this, and paste that right there. And then I'm gonna copy just this because I'm gonna edit it. I want that to be for the manager script, and then I'll paste that. I think copied twice. Let's remove this. Yep. Let me see. Good. So now we have the first row for the GUI, manager GUI. The second row is supposed to be for the scripts, which is what you have here. We just need access to this too. And then I'm just going to change this to, hopefully I don't run into any errors. Because sometimes as you're doing these things, you just be doing it and then there will be one mistake that you didn't see. And then what we need to do now is to change the password. Let's change the password. Yeah. Oops, where's my okay? I'm gonna change the password to Tomcat. So the username is Tomcat. The password to I'll just make that Tomcat. Tomcat, and then these rows here, we now need to pass in a manager script also. So if I do, remember, don't add any space after the comma. So if I do manager script, great. So I'm gonna save this, and then yep. What we now have to do is to restart Tomcat. So restarting Tomcat, remember those files where they were in the bin folder. So I'm just going to go back to the bin folder ls and yep. So we'll shut down and then we'll start up again. Yep. So I'll do sudo bash shutdown the sh. Yep. So it's shut down. If I come back here, we should not have access to this anymore. Good. So let's restart it. We say bash, sudo bash, startup dot sh. Yep, good. So if we refresh it now, it should ask us for username and password. Uh-oh. Wait, Tomcat started. Okay, this is weird. Let's go here. Oh, all right. So slash manager. The request source is not available. The origin server did not find the current representation for the target. Okay, so it seems there's a problem somewhere. Um, I don't like problems. So let's go back to that's the thing about DevOps. So problems can just arise. You do something like 100 times, and then one day problems will arise. So I'll do. I think you're saying something about the manager folder. Mhm. Okay, let me go into the web apps. manager, 2D manager. Plus, then we need to work with the meta.inf file. Let's nano this context file. Oh, probably it's because I had that space at the top. Let me see if there's any other error. Okay. Uh-huh. It's because I added mistakenly added a space at the top. But anyways, let me save this. Let's go and check. Let's check the conf again. We just check the web apps. Let's check the conf directory if there's any errors from the Tomcat users. I doubt, but let's see. Okay, so we have the first row, MyJGUI, second one, MyJScript, Tomcat. Yes, this looks good. So we can go back to the bin folder and restart the entire thing. CD bin, yep. So let's restart. Sudo bash shutdown sh. Yep. Sudo bash. Then restart it again. Startup sh. Good. We can check. Let me see. System ctl status. Tomcat. Wait. Let's see. It's running, Sha. Tomcat cannot be found. Okay, but I know it's running. Anyways, so if we do this, it should ask us for password. Yes, good. So now Tomcat. So the problem there was that in my web apps, the context.xml file, I left a space. I mistakenly left a space at the top, and there isn't meant to be any white space starting the entire thing. So I removed that, and now Tomcat is my username. Tomcat is my password. I should have access here. Great, we're in. So we have access to the Tomcat server. We're done with the first part. Good. Tomcat manager. So the next thing now is let's go to Jenkins. We've set up our production server now. Let's go to Jenkins. So I'm gonna. Where's my Jenkins? Okay, this is my Jenkins. Is it? Wait, come back. Tomcat 2. Come back to EC2. Oops, instances. See. Oh, Kennedy is here. Kennedy is saying hello. Olamileko is saying hello, everyone. Welcome, guys. So what we're trying to do, I'm sure you guys have been following up, but anyways, is we just created a Tomcat server. So we want to create Jenkins. Um, Jenkins is quite straightforward, so I'll just need to SSH into that instance, and we would install. These are the plugins we hope to install. So plugins, put this here. Plugins. And then in terms of what we need to install, in terms of the packages, we would install Java. We would install Jenkins. We would install Docker. Yep, those are the major things we need to install. So in terms of, I'm going to do sudo apt, use the size here. Yep, sudo apt update. Yeah, It's a new server, we have to update it. It's shiny new. Next thing is to install Java, and like I said earlier, to install Java, you just need to install Maven, right? So Maven comes with Java. Give me a minute. I need to I need to pick a very important call. Just give me 1 minute to be back. I'm back now. Um, let's go back and check. Yeah. So we have that. Our update is done. So we need to install. Let's install Maven as usual. So that's the line to install Maven. So while we're installing Maven, the next thing we might have to install is Jenkins. So there are different ways to install Jenkins, but it's just best to go back to the docs site. This is the Jenkins website, jenkins.io. You can check the link and then you find out how to install Jenkins from here. I'm just going to copy all of this actually. Copy this. And I think that's the most long term support release. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. So, why is this guy taking so much time? So while this is going on, I'm going to show you the Jenkins pipeline and what's up. This is the pipeline. I'll just explain to you. We'll always be coming back to this anytime we have um, long installation. Okay, that's done. Anytime we have a long installation, we'll come here and I'll just explain this. So, what do we just install? We just installed Maven. Yes. So if we do, as usual, Maven 3. See, we get that Maven version. If we do Java version, we get that. So that's installed. The next thing is to install Jenkins. Like I said earlier, I copied this from here. I don't need to know everything there. Just copy it. Uh-huh. Yes, so Jenkins is installed. How do you even check Jenkins version? Jenkins 3 version. Oh, um, did we? Let me check. System. mm, I'm gonna try this again.
Hold on. Welcome. I welcome.
So it probably it did. install Jenkins. Yeah, so I think this ran, but this didn't run. Let's see. Okay, let me just do this update now. Sudo apt update. What's the time now? Oh, okay. So Jenkins version. How do you check that again? Yes. So it's just check if Jenkins is running. So Jenkins is actually running. So yeah. So the next thing now is if we go to port 8080 from that server, we should be able to we should be able to access the Jenkins GUI, and then from there we start to do some other setups. So 8080 there, and yeah, so if you've installed Jenkins before, you know what's up here, and we can just do this manually. So it's just to copy all of this. We have to go into this, cut this file there, and that's basically where we're gonna cut it. That's basically where the password is. Permissions denied. We have to sudo in, sudo. Yep, we're in. That's the password. Get that. Go back to the GUI. Paste that in. Administrator password. Get in, and then it's to now install the necessary plugins. So I'll click on this. I mean, sometimes, yeah, you get some errors from here, and I just don't know why. Hopefully, we won't get any errors this time. I'm trying to check something. Gosh. Hopefully, we'll be able to finish this in time because this is a lot. We're just we're just even getting started. To be very honest, hopefully, we'll finish this on time. If we don't, then I'll have to continue the video, record it, and then put it out there. So, admin, I'm just going to use admin for everything. Yeah, I use admin for everything. Admin at Gmail. Continue. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I haven't installed Docker. So I have Jenkins. I have Maven. I have to install Docker now, and you can get the you can just check online and you see how to install Docker. But I have this written somewhere here. I'm just gonna I've done this before, but I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna update and upgrade first. This is still trying to set itself up. Very weird thing. I have no idea why it does this. I think I should I just wait or just refresh this? You know what? I'll skip. Continue as admin. I'll do all of that later. Save and finish. This might probably bite me in the back. But anyways, let's do it. I have no idea why this takes time. Is it because I'm using a T2 medium? Is that too small for Jenkins? Okay, so yes, that's done. Let's upgrade. Okay, I have some comments there. Let me check comments. So can you drop your questions on the chat? Okay, Kennedy is there for me. A DevOps front end notice I am about to build a project using Jenkins. I said Jenkins is no longer that useful and wonders why people still learn it because companies use it. What can you say about it? Is it worth learning? Look, everything is worth learning. like Jenkins in terms of CI/CD is, you know, when they say something is a classic, when something is a classic or something has some kind of like legacy, it's just a legacy, should I say, service. You know, is a classic. So if you truly understand Jenkins, it's going to be very easy for you to move into any CI/CD tool or service. You know, it's going to be very easy to do that. So, uh, okay. I have no idea why this is doing this. Uh, Is it because I'm installing something there? So let me just, I mean, let me wait for this to finish. So it doesn't seem like it's because I am installing something and it can't multitask. So while that is going on, what was I even installing? I was trying to upgrade. Okay, while that is going on, let me just show you what's up with the pipeline here. So here now is using Maven as a tool. In the initialization step, we just want to be sure it echoes the path where Maven is installed. This is supposed to be M3 dash home because you're using Maven 2 now. We'll have Maven 3, we'll have to update this. And then the build step is basically just using the Maven clean package. This is going to build the the WAR file. Okay. And then the last stage is the deploy to Tomcat. So this last stage is using the SSH agent, which is going to be a plugin that we would install. Okay. It's going to be a plugin that we would install. And here we're doing a secure copy, secure copy of that RAR file to the the server, the Tomcat server. We'll probably have to change this to fit that server, and then we're copying it to this file. But then I noticed that I run into a lot of errors, so I had to do my own research, and I found out that you need to do a set FACL, you know, for Ubuntu to give it some kind of read, write, and execute access in the root. So so yeah, this part is very important because before I found out, it took me a while for me to find out that this is how it works. Unless you can't really, there's an authentication, how do I put it? You have to authenticate. Okay, so and then there are other things we still have to do for authentication. Okay, so this is looking like it's done. This should work. Let's go back to Jenkins. Admin, 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 admin at Gmail. I have no idea why this just keeps stopping. What I'm going to do is let me install Docker, then I'm going to restart the service. I'm going to restart Jenkins. I will just do yes. Let's get Docker in it. So Docker, let's start. Where is it? 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 Hmm. So do this here. Yeah. So uh, then we have to give Jenkins that user mod. Have to give it that application, that permissions to Docker to work with Jenkins user. So we do that. Then we also have to do that for Ubuntu. Also, the Jenkins and Ubuntu user can use Docker. So that's done. Then we can start Docker. Oops. This is weird. Okay, that's weird. That's actually very weird. Do this. Okay, this is weird actually. This is okay. System. It's already running actually. So Docker is running. So yeah, so there's no need for all of that. Then if we what I'm going to do is let me check the status for Jenkins. If Jenkins is running, I'm gonna stop or restart Jenkins. That the command. I think so. Hmm. Let's do this. Could that be the reason? Okay. I mean, this is actually very, very, very weird. And we're running out of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to kill this Jenkins. I'll kill it. And then I'll probably have to create a new Jenkins instance. We have 10 minutes and then we can't run everything in 10 minutes. We still have a lot of steps to go through. We'll call this Jenkins 2. Probably could be the way I installed Jenkins, we would probably just use another method to install Jenkins. I'm gonna use it different. And then I would use a larger T2 large just in case that might be the problem. Same way, go back and then get my key pair, select the key, the security group I've set up before. I showed that earlier, and then launch instance. Okay, so that's that guy. This is him. Wait for him. So we still have our Tomcat running here. The setup is complete. Uh-huh. This should die. This should die. So I'm waiting for it to change to running. Yeah, so it's running. I can now copy this and then try the SSH again into this new Jenkins. Okay, so it's taking some time to, get itself. Yes. Okay, so now we're going back to it again, but this time I'm going to use a different method to install Jenkins. I think I have this here. Is this similar to what's on the Jenkins website? Let's see. Looks the same actually. Okay, they're actually different. What I'm gonna do, I'll just do this. Okay. So yeah, so I actually need to have Java installed for this to work. So let's just do that again. When we install Maven, it's gonna automatically install Java. Oh, sudo apps updates. Okay, so let's run that now. Install Maven, which has Java installed. I'm just going to get this and use this. I think this is going to do it. See what this documentation is saying. When that is done, come here and do this. Yep, go ahead. Yeah. So, um, hmm, don't think what's it saying here? The repository is not signed. Data infrastructure review cannot be done. Okay, so let's check a different documentation on installing Jenkins. This is using a different method. So let's do this. Let's use this. Let's use this. So this is just going to download the package and then I have just 5 minutes, so you guys should give me some time. I beg. So yeah, uh, okay. So I'll do this. So last thing I copied. Okay, let me do this. I have a long way to go. As the installation candidate, this is weird. This means that the package is missing, obsolete. Okay, so this is probably the whole documentation. I'll just go back and use what is on Jenkins site. Let's try that again. Actually, this should not be a problem. And I've done this hundreds of times, and we're having this today on the demo day. I have just less than 5 minutes. I can't do everything in less than 5 minutes. I mean, the entire CI/CD process can't be done in one day, except you've already set everything up and you're just changing your modifications. But then the setup actually takes a lot to set up. Okay, so um what am I going to do now? Thinking I should create a video, a separate video, where I just continue, with the entire installation because of time. This is supposed to be a 1 hour thing. So I'm going to create a separate video. All right. So if you have any questions right now, just let me know what the questions are. I'll do my best to answer them. Any questions? Any questions from anywhere? Seems I don't have any questions. Okay, with that being said, there's no questions. I'm going to stop here, and I'll do a four-part video on how to do this whole CI/CD setup for the Java application. It's quite a lot of things to do, and we are retreating doesn't mean we have stopped working because of time. We just have to retreat and then create a video, send it to the group. Anyone can access that. Probably have to slow down and then go back to check in case you have any errors. So I'm going to call it a day from here. Since I have no questions, I'll call it a day. I'll say thank you everyone for coming to today's session. Please keep an eye open for the updates and the videos I'm going to be releasing soon to finish up this entire project. Next week we'll be having something else, so I have to do this before next week. On Wednesday we have our beginner sessions, and on Saturdays we have our advanced sessions. Same time, same place, which is 8 p.m. on YouTube, and sometimes I stream also on LinkedIn. Okay, so I would end the stream here. It's 9 o'clock already. Thank you everyone for attending today's session. Do have a wonderful day.